What is up, Black Hive? It is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. Today, we are looking at a strength skill. We all know this is a skill. Bench press 3-3-2-2-2. Today, we're building every 2 minutes on the minute, meaning we should probably, if our bench press is 315, start somewhere at about 155 to 185 pounds. So a little more than half, but about that 50 to 60%. Adding in maybe 10 or 15s on each side, so bumping up to maybe 205 or 215. And then again, with these last two, we want these to be pretty heavy. So we want to go up another 10 to 15% on that middle, and then another 10, 12% up all the way to somewhere around 90% for that 2 rep. You can do them from the floor, so you can do some floor presses, or if you have a bench at home, maybe a box at home you could substitute as your bench. Hopefully you have something there that will act as J-cups to hold that barbell up if you have it. Make sure you have a spotter for maybe those last 2 sets to make sure you don't end up in some weird, crazy video on Barstool. If it is funny enough, put it on TikTok. Shit, I love seeing funny stuff. Tag Black Hot too, especially on TikTok. All we care about when you come back is how much of a pump you got while you were gone. So we're excited to see that pump. So we're moving into the WOD for the day. This is pretty interesting, a fun WOD, 2 rounds for time. We got a little bit of rest, and we got some AMRAP style going on in this 2 rounds here. So for today's WOD, we're starting with 2 minutes, max push press, 115 for our men, 75 pounds for our women. We're gonna rest 60 seconds and then move right to 2 minutes max front squats, 135, so we're moving up 20 pounds, and 95 for our women, resting 1 minute, 2 minute max deadlift. Again, moving up another 20 pounds to 155 and 115 for our women. With the 2 minutes max push press, that's 2 minutes on the front rack, not breaking more than once and not breaking more than 10 seconds, maybe 15 at the most. So that would propose 50 seconds of work, 55 seconds of work, and then 10 seconds of rest. So back to work about 1:05 to 1:10 once we get back on that push press and pushing it all the way to that 1 minute. This should be a weight that we can move continuously for 50 to 55 seconds, resting and then getting back and continuously moving it again for 50 to 55 seconds. So while thinking about 115 being a pretty moderate load, when we're talking about RX weights for CrossFit, we should be able to push that out. I would propose somewhere between 30 and 45 times per round. So think about that in terms of weight when you're wanting to move into that first movement. Push press. You're gonna rest that 1 minute, and we do wanna go up. Our legs are definitely gonna be stronger than our shoulders. Most times, we're gonna do 2 minutes of front squats. 135 and 95, that's pretty hard, especially for two minutes. Again, not breaking more than once during that 2 minutes. We do have 2 rounds, so we just don't wanna break more than 10 or 15 seconds. Really keep an eye on that clock from the second you stop to the second you restart. Your first front squat should be 10 to 15 seconds. Again, kind of looking for somewhere between that 30 and 45 reps for this first round of 2 minutes. Think in terms of weight. So maybe this looks more like 95 and 115, and this looks more like 65 and then 75 for some of us. Resting 1 minute, adding a little bit of weight, and then 2 minutes max deadlift at 155 and 115. This should be a weight that you should be able to move for 2 minutes straight. So most of us have a pretty high deadlift, comparatively speaking. So pick a load that you can continuously move steadily for 2 minutes. Hopefully not resting for more than 4 or 5 seconds if you do break, and not breaking more than once. You're gonna rest another minute, and then we're gonna come back up, and we're gonna do the same thing. This load should be the same across both rounds. We should not have to lighten the load, and we definitely shouldn't feel like we wanna add weight to the barbell on the second round. Just continue it, move it faster if you do feel that way. This particular workout during the 2 rounds has 3 scores, so make sure you keep a count individually of your push press, your front squat, and your deadlift. So if you do 30, 30, 30, you come back, you do another 30, 30, 30, you got 60, 60, and 60. That's gonna be your overall score individually. Again, make sure you're weighting appropriately. If you don't have a barbell at home, we do have our Black Hive Home, which is under the same exact WOD, 2 rounds, 2 minutes, rest 1 minute, 2 minutes, rest 1 minute, 2 minutes, rest 1 minute. But we're proposing using an odd object. If you have different weighted sandbags, I know that's not extremely likely, so you could use a vest, a ruck for your push press, you could use dumbbells, kettlebells for your push press. Again, those are gonna be pretty tough compared to that barbell, so make sure you weight appropriately and know that a heavier load with the barbell is not equal to a heavy load or the same weight with your dumbbell or your kettlebell. The front squats, again, maybe use a vest, a sandbag instead of your sandbag for your push press, you use a sandbag for your front squats, and then your deadlift, again, trying to find an odd object, a heavier sandbag, maybe try and get some more bags into that sandbag if you only have a 60 pound. Remember, you can always add stuff into that sandbag, especially if it's only going from your waist to the ground position. And if that's not enough for you, we got our built. 3 rounds for time, 800-meter run, so we're running a half mile, 30 alternating dumbbell snatches, 50 and 35 for our females, and then 30 goblet squats with a dumbbell or a kettlebell if you have one of like load, 50 and 35, whatever works best. Still holding it in that front rack position. 3 rounds for time, again thinking in terms of how long this should look. So we should be somewhere in the 4 to 5 minute range here with our 800-meter run. So let's just say it's 30 alternating dumbbell snatches at 50 and 35. Should probably looking somewhere around about a minute at the most. So we're looking at 6 minutes, and then those 30 goblet squats, we might be looking at another minute and a half. If we're looking at 6 minutes, 7.5 minutes, we got 3 rounds, we might be looking at a 21, 22-minute WOD for this particular workout. So no, it's gonna be a long grinder. Make sure you rest up a little bit, wear the right shoes for that run. But when you do come back in, rest it up and try and get these unbroken. Try to go one arm for arm and try to get all 30 and use a weight that's conducive without resting. Take your rest between those particular movements. So 21, maybe 24 minutes during this WOD. If you feel like it's gonna take you any longer, make sure to back down that run more likely than anything. I can't wait to do this one. Can't wait to see what you guys' scores on the scoreboards are as well.